Well, thank you. First of all, thank you, Frank, for your work. Earlier we were talking and he named off the members of his family who are in the labors. I'm pretty sure the entire project could be built by the number of relatives you have involved. It is a family business for so many people. And yet we also see so many people who are new to the trades, getting in on these good paying jobs. So to you, Frank, to all of the laborers, to the ATU members who are part of people's daily routines, as well as such an important part of the safe operation of our transit systems, and to all of our friends from organized labor, we are proud to be teaming up with you to create and develop more good paying union jobs here in Southern Nevada and across the country. A big thank you to all of the local leaders who are here, including the commissioner, council leadership, and I certainly want to thank Mayor Goodman. I got to know the Mayor's Goodman back when I was mayor, and I think the job has only become harder since I proudly wore the title of Mayor Pete, but I often reflect on the fact that back when I was mayor, it sure would have been nice if there was $1 trillion infrastructure bill coming out of the administration to help us do that job. So hopefully that is making things a little easier. To Justin Jones and the board of the RTC, MJ, and your entire terrific team, thank you all for taking this on. No pressure, but we're looking forward to seeing how you continue to deliver very effectively with these federal dollars. Thanks for your leadership and your excellent work. And I am so thankful to be sharing a stage with members of your extraordinary Nevada congressional delegation. I think you know this, but they are national leaders, not just regional leaders, in getting big things done. Stephen Horsford is somebody that we have worked with on infrastructure projects writ large and on making sure that everyone gets a fair shot at the opportunities that come with those infrastructure projects. We're thankful for your leadership. Susie Lee is somebody who I remember long conversations on the phone with about how we were going to get this infrastructure bill done. She was also just a welcoming neighbor as Chasten and I tried to find our way around our temporary digs in Washington, D.C. Thank you for always being there to help us get big infrastructure projects done. Dina Titus, thank you for welcoming us to your district. And it does always feel like good news when I see you. She has been consistently at our side, partnering with President Biden, Vice President Harris, with us in the cabinet to get things done. And just a pleasure to work with. And I'm not just saying that because she happens to sit on the committee that oversees my work, but we appreciate that oversight. And Senator Catherine Cortez Masto didn't just vote for the infrastructure bill. She helped create it. She was one of the senators who negotiated its terms. She did it with a view toward what is good for Nevada, but also a vision for what is good for the country. And we continue to be so grateful that we can partner with you as well as Senator Rosen, so thank you. And thanks to all of you for joining us at this celebration. I've, as Dina mentioned, now been to all 50 states. Although I don't think I've ever negotiated the acoustics of speaking in the heart of a mall, so I'm going to try to speak clearly. It's certainly not our first time in Las Vegas since I became secretary, but it is one of our best. Back when I was mayor, I think you'd agree, a city like mine in the industrial Midwest would have considered the swift growth that you are seeing here to be a good problem to have. But it's still a challenge, a big challenge that puts pressure on your affordability, on housing, and certainly on transportation. And it makes it vitally important to expand access to transportation that is fast, that is affordable, that is reliable. And that is what the leaders joining us here are delivering in partnership with our department. Just 4 months ago, my colleague, the FTA Acting Administrator Veronica Vanderpool, announced our grant award for $150 million. And today, just 4 months later, I am delighted to join you to officially help break ground on the new Maryland Parkway bus rapid transit project. This 12-mile corridor is going to bring dedicated bus-only lanes, traffic signal priority, frequent service, nicer areas to wait in, faster, more reliable, more comfortable trips between the airport area, UNLV, downtown Las Vegas and all of the jobs there, and the medical district. And a bonus, these are hydrogen-powered buses, which means for drivers, for riders, and anybody who lives anywhere near where these buses run, cleaner air and better safety. We are saving people money, we are saving people time, we are better connecting this community. And even if you don't use this new bus rapid transit, you're going to be better off because for the other people who do, won't be competing for space on congested roadways with you. So it is truly a win-win-win. And even before it goes into service, already generating those good paying union jobs that we're here to celebrate, that we're so proud of. This is how government's supposed to work. I'm not saying it always does, but when it does, it's remarkable. Listening to people, hearing what they need, and then working hard to deliver that. Too often in my lifetime, we have seen a culture in Washington that didn't work that way, that tended to choose partisan power gains over bipartisan policy wins. And I'd be remiss if I didn't note that many presidents before promised a big infrastructure package, but didn't quite follow through and get it done. We set out to change that under the leadership of President Biden and Vice President Harris, and with help from the members of the delegation sharing this stage here, passing the biggest bipartisan infrastructure package in over 70 years and already seeing results. And I just want to remind everybody that back when we were having those phone calls and those meetings and those conversations with your senators and with your House members, talking about how we could get this through. This was not a done deal. Now we're used to it, like it couldn't have been any other way. I saw commentators write the political obituary of the bipartisan infrastructure law half a dozen times before it got passed and President Biden signed it. These things don't just happen. They happen when you have leaders like those who are joining us today who come together to get big things done. Now tens of thousands of communities are seeing their projects move forward. Some of them are what I call the cathedrals of American infrastructure. Like what we were here celebrating last time I was nearby, where we are marking what will be the first high-speed rail in the country, breaking ground just a few months ago on Brightline West. Other projects, like the I-15 Tropicana interchange, may not make national news, but they're a big deal for everybody who's going to use them and for everybody working with them. Point is, we're going to use all of the resources of the federal government to make everyday life a little bit better and a little bit easier, and this is part of that. I know we have some Spanish language media and members of the audience, so I'm going to attempt to summarize this in Spanish. Please be generous in evaluating my use of the language. But hace solo 4 meses, el Departamento de Transporte anunció la entrega de $150 millones para este proyecto. Y hoy, en nombre de la administración Biden-Harris, me siento muy honrado de poder contribuir al inicio de la construcción del proyecto de autobuses de transporte rápido Maryland Parkway. Este corredor de 12 millas ofrecerá un viaje rápido, eficaz y cómodo entre el aeropuerto, la Universidad de Nevada, Las Vegas, el centro de la ciudad y el distrito médico. Esta nueva línea de autobuses le ahorrará tiempo y dinero a las personas y también creará empleos bien pagados. Este es uno de los 60,000 proyectos que están tomando vida en todo el país gracias a la ley bipartidista de infraestructura y gracias al liderazgo de los congresistas y la senadora. I'm so excited about this stuff. I would learn a couple more languages just to be able to talk about these projects that much more because they excite me that much, but I know we've got to return to our days and we've got some ground to break. So let me just end by saying we will continue in our efforts, whether it's transportation policy, healthcare policy like cutting the cost of insulin for seniors and controlling the cost of prescription drugs, or our work together to make sure that there is more affordable housing in every part of the land. We will continue doing everything we can to serve the American people, including in this part of Nevada, with much more work to do, but now very much heading in the right direction and moving as quickly as we can, just like those buses are going to be moving quickly on Maryland Parkway very soon. So with no further delay, let's go celebrate and break some ground. Thanks very much for the chance to join. Thank you.